Okay, here is our Husqvarna garden tractor. It's a Husqvarna TS 354XD. This is the largest garden tractor that Husqvarna makes. The reason why we picked this particular one is, well, first of all, it has a 54-inch cutting width, but it's the only Husqvarna one that has a hitch attachment, which then you can buy a disc tiller. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to start our garden with the quote ground vegetables like onions, potatoes, rhubarb, beets, carrots, stuff like that. And so we were going to try this puppy out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it into place because Andrea wants it a little bit off the fence more. And then once I get it into place, then Andrea will videotape the actual first tilling of the ground. The good thing is we are in a former farm field. This is actually still farm right here. So this has been plowed and replowed and replowed for at least 100 years. So the soil here is fairly soft, comparatively speaking. We're in pretty much sandy soil for as far down as we could go. Andrea's mother's cabin over there got moved here last week, and there's a septic tank in front of it. Let me zoom in a second. If you look at it and you see the light colored dirt, that's the overflow from when they were digging the septic tank. So they got that septic tank down, I don't know, probably 5-6 feet or so, and all the way down to the bottom it's still sand. So I have no idea how low the sand layer goes, but it's pretty far. So let me hand this over to Andrea and then we'll see what happens. All right, as you can see, it's actually going in a little bit, but it's not going in that much. So I have a feeling what this thing is here for is to add weight to it. So we need to go find some weight. So we'll come back and we will try again. Okay, try two. We just had some trees cut on part of our property. And so the tree cutter just kind of threw the scrap in the woods. At least till it gets start decaying, and then we'll deal with it later. So I grabbed one of the logs that I could actually pick up. So I don't know, that's probably maybe 40-50 pounds, I don't know. But it's definitely a lot heavier because even with it all the way up, it's still marking the ground a little bit where it wasn't before. So I'm going to call this try two.
Just making a second pass to see if it tills up a little bit better than the first pass. and that seems to be the trick. And he's trying a third pass to see if that does even better. And definitely improving. We might need to get a little bit more weight on the back. Looks like some options might be some CMU block back there with some sort of strapping to hold it on.
Okay, this is with 3 passes here. Oh, Andrea, how does this look for you?
I'm better than what we would have done otherwise, other than the tiller, the hand tiller.
Right. We have a little hand tiller. It's like, I don't know, 15 inches or something. And
The time it took you to do this, you would have gotten maybe this much 8 feet long. This wide, 8 feet long.
Yeah, I would have got 1, maybe 2 passes about 8 feet long. This is about 40 feet, and
3
it's
feet
about
wide?
3 feet wide. So we'll probably play around with it more.
I'm thinking, I think that's designed for CMU block, so we might have to pick up some CMU block.
Yeah, well, we didn't have any block on us, so we had to redneck it up a little bit. But we're in the South and in the country, so I can say rednecking all day long. So
redneck.
that's true. So, all right. So what I'm going to do, we'll figure out how much of this we're going to do. This is 3 passes right here, and then we'll see what it looks like when it's done. Okay, I ended up making 4 passes, or 4 different rows here, 3 passes each, and then Andrea wanted to have 1 pass over here. This is going to be our temporary perennial area. The longer term goal is to extend the fence out beyond over here so we can put all of our perennial bushes like blueberries and
There they are.
raspberries, herbs, stuff like that. So right now the rhubarb is going here. So what I'm going to do now is, since I got it nice and tilled, here's the cultivator that we got last year. Now I did this from straight dirt last year, and it was a massive pain. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was still pretty difficult. So let me see how it's going to do now. Okay, the cultivating part is done. All I had to do was make 2 passes on each row, and that was pretty much it. And so now it's all done. This didn't take long at all. It took 10, maybe 12 minutes at the most. So the total combined time on this, between this and the tiller on the tractor, it's probably about 30 minutes. Once I get used to doing it and do it some more, it could probably go quicker than that. And so this was just the tilled area by itself is about 2.5 times what our garden was last year. And we didn't have, obviously, the lawnmower or the tiller at that time, so I had to do the whole thing from ground, which took probably about an hour and a half, and I think I had to take 1 or 2 breaks at least in between, and it was rough. Luckily the soil's not that bad, so I didn't complain about it too much. But this was easy. I just got behind that thing and just pulled it back, and you can see there where I was doing some drunk tilling. So, but then I straightened it up when I got to here, so we didn't end up with the little curvy part throughout the entire part. I have no idea how much of this we're actually going to use today, but this at least gets our feet wet in the garden part with the tilling and the cultivating. And so now the next step is actually to get the stuff and put it in the ground. But we have to wait. The Clayton people are here, and we're within our warranty period on our house. So we have an island in our kitchen, and so they scheduled and came out and are replacing our island today. And so I'm gonna wait till they leave, and then we'll start in on the actual planting stuff.